We are walking across Tower Bridge on a weekday with early morning traffic. It's less than a 10-minute walk from Tower Hill Underground Station to the bridge. Our journey will take us along the southern bank of the Thames, through areas once frequented by prostitutes, pirates and murderers. Join us as we walk through places that inspired the likes of Charles Dickens, John Constable and Claude Monet. The bridge was constructed between 1886 and 1894, is split in the centre with both sides being raised to allow tall boats to pass through. This happens about 800 times a year and is a great photo opportunity. Times of the openings can be found on the Tower Bridge website. During the Second World War, the bridge received substantial damage on 3 occasions. Facing us on the northern bank of the river is the Tower of London. The original tower was constructed at the end of the 11th century, being further extended and fortified over the following 2 centuries. Further west are the tall buildings of the financial district known as the City. Walking east along the river, we pass City Hall. This was designed by architect Norman Foster, who also created the city landmark known as the Gherkin. City Hall was home to the Mayor of London and the London Assembly. The building is open to the public. Its unusual shape has inspired terms such as Darth Vader's helmet, a misshapen egg, a woodlouse, a glass testicle and the onion. This area along the river was part of what was known as the Pool of London. Going back a few centuries, there were large wharves and warehouses on both sides of the river, with hundreds of ships moored in the quays, offloading cargo for the developing city. The noise of heavy machinery, along with thick smoke drifting over the Thames, was vastly different to what we have today. Back in the 18th century, 2/3 of the ships arriving here were transporting coal into London. Such was the demand at that time. HMS Belfast was launched on St. Patrick's Day 1939. She saw action in the Second World War, being severely damaged, then repaired, and again in the Korean War. Having been retired out of service in the mid-1960s, HMS Belfast is now a beautifully preserved museum. London Bridge is ahead of us, and often confused with Tower Bridge. The current London Bridge is one of several of that name spanning this part of the Thames. The original was constructed by the Romans. The predecessor of the current bridge now stands in Lake Havasu, Arizona. It's rumored that the buyer was shocked when it arrived, as he believed that he was purchasing the impressive Tower Bridge. There is no underpass here, and you have to take the stairs at this point, crossing the road, then descending the steps on the other side, passing the 1,000-year-old Southwark Cathedral. This is a replica of the Golden Hind. The original galleon was launched in 1577, being captained by Sir Francis Drake on what was the first British circumnavigation of the world between 1577 and 1580. Like the original, this ship has also circumnavigated the globe in a single trip. As you turn into Clink Street, the remains of the 13th century Winchester Palace is on the left. This was once home to the once powerful bishops of Winchester. Walk down this narrow passage, past the Clink Prison Museum, turning right at the end. The Anchor Inn is on your left. A pub has occupied this site for over 800 years, starting as a tap room for the Anchor Brewery, which was situated behind it. Customers would have included sailors, pirates, and smugglers. Being in the heart of the theatre district, many of Shakespeare's fans and actors would have frequented the venue. Maybe the Bard himself. Sadly, it is the only surviving bankside pub of that era. As we turn the corner, Southwark Bridge is directly ahead, with the unmistakable dome of St. Paul's Cathedral in the distance. Southwark Bridge opened in 1819, but was known locally as the Iron Bridge, due to a reference by Charles Dickens in Little Dorrit. Almost all visitor attractions and eateries on this walk have free Wi-Fi and conveniences. A replica of Shakespeare's Globe Theatre is on the left. The original was built in 1599, but destroyed by fire in 1613, rebuilt in 1614, then demolished 30 years later. This replica exists through the passion and dedication of American actor and director Sam Wanamaker. The Millennium Footbridge is on the right, from which it is only a 5-minute walk to St. Paul's Cathedral.
Get that started too.
Yeah, do that.
Tate Modern is on the left and certainly worth a detour, not only for the art, but also for the building's interior, which was once a power station and can't fail to impress. The River Thames runs for over 200 miles, is spanned by over 200 bridges, and 200 years ago it would regularly freeze over. This allowed for skating and ice fairs to be held on its frozen surface. Even the coldest winters of this century would not allow that. Passing Blackfriars Station, we walk under the bridge where the railway line crosses the river. We emerge with Blackfriars Bridge ahead. The name Blackfriars originates from the black robes worn by monks of a Dominican friary founded nearby in 1278. The bridge was featured in the film Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. On the morning of the 18th of June 1982, the body of disgraced Italian banker Roberto Calvi was found hanging from the bridge, with his pockets stuffed with banknotes. He is often referred to as God's banker, due to his involvement with the Vatican. Evidence pointed at the Mafia and the Italian P2 Masonic Lodge, which included many influential people. Some Mafia members were arrested, but never charged. Gabriel's Pier offers some excellent views along the Thames. The Oxo Tower is to the left and above us. The building houses small arts and crafts retail outlets, along with a restaurant and free viewing gallery on the 8th floor. Burney Spain Gardens and Gabriel's Wharf are on the left. Waterloo Bridge has evolved over the years and been captured in paintings by artists Claude Monet and John Constable. In 1841, a daredevil stunt artist accidentally hung himself from scaffolding when his performance went wrong, shocking the crowd. On the 7th of September 1978, the Soviet dissident Georgy Markov was walking over the bridge when he received a stab from a poisoned umbrella and subsequently died. This was attributed to the KGB. Waterloo Bridge features in songs by the Kinks and Jules Holland and is also in several films. Along this stretch we have the National Theatre, Queen Elizabeth Hall, Hayward Gallery and Royal Festival Hall. Hungerford Bridge is a railway line connecting Waterloo Station with Charing Cross Station. On both sides of this are the Golden Jubilee pedestrian walkways, offering stunning views in either direction of the Thames and city skyline. Continuing on the Queen's Walk, we have Jubilee Gardens and the London Eye. When it opened to the public in 2000, it was the world's tallest Ferris wheel. It is now ranked in 5th position. Each of its 32 capsules weighs up to 10 tons and holds 25 passengers. The eye rotates at a speed of around 1.5 meters a minute, allowing passenger to slip on and off without it stopping. As we get closer to Westminster Bridge, this last stretch is pure entertainment for children. With Shrek's Adventure, the London Dungeon and Sea Life.
Vamos pegar um bar.
Tá, peraí, pô. Foto sua.
The original Westminster Bridge replaced the ferry which operated here, opening in 1751. However, it failed to survive the elements, and was subsequently dismantled. The current bridge opened on Queen Victoria's 43rd birthday on May 24, 1862, with a 25-gun salute in honour of her 25 years of rule. Canaletto painted the incomplete bridge, adding his own embellishments. William Wordsworth composed his Westminster Bridge poem while allegedly standing on the bridge. The bridge has also featured in several films, and on the 22nd of March 2017 was the scene of a dreadful terrorist attack. If you continue under the bridge, you will face one of the most photographed views in London. I hope you've enjoyed the journey,